Okay, today we're going to be doing a drawing of the Kwakiutl headdress. Here's our design diamond. As I said, the subject is the Kwakiutl headdress. Techniques that we're going to use is drawing. Some materials that we're going to need are a pencil, paper, and colored pencils to color our drawing at the end. The elements of art are lines, shapes, and coloring. And the principles of design are proportion and to scale. Here is an example of a ceremonial dancing hat. These dancing ceremonial headdresses were passed down by elders and chiefs to their immediate and extended family, and they were used for festivals. As you can see, there are a lot of bright colors on the headdress to symbolize that they were having a celebration. And the different headdresses also symbolize that the status a person had and the family connections that they had. The actual headdresses were either woven or carved. This example of a headdress was carved from wood and then painted. So to start off for our drawing, we're going to do the outline. And this is very simple, it doesn't have to be perfect. So we're going to start at the front with the beak. And go around and stop. And go up and over. And then you want to follow along for the bottom half of the beak. And go over. Then it's like a box shape that you're going to make for the back of the headdress. This was so that they were able to fit it on their head, obviously. And then the top part are the wings. And you want to overlap them so that you can see the dimension of the wings that were on the top. So now we're going to do the different patterns that are on the headdress, and we'll start with the squares that are on the beak. And they don't have to be exact, because a lot of these headdresses were not perfect. And sometimes you might have to go back and erase if you feel like if it's not like as proportionate as we want it to be. So there are the squares. And then next we can draw the teeth that are inside the mouth. And that we can just start on the end. And they're sort of like little squares also. Just all the way down to the bottom. And now we can draw the eye. And the eye has just shapes that go around it to outline it. To make it stand out. And there's also, for the pattern of the eye, there's a replica of it on the top part right here. So you just, in a smaller version of it, make that up at the top. So even though it's not perfect patterns, there still are patterns on this headdress. And we can do, and there's line patterns on this one. And then there's also line patterns on the outside of the wing. And this part up here. It's also shown down here. And because we can't see the outside of this part of the wing at the top, it's just shown the inside, which doesn't have very much design at all. But once you're done with the outline and drawing the patterns, we're going to color it. And so the squares all are pretty much the same colors. They don't really have a specific color scheme that's used. A lot of the colors are sort of random, but they all are maybe complementary colors. The blue and the red go together very well, and then there's different shades of browns throughout. And so you're just going to color the different patterns, the same shades. And once you're done coloring, you should end up with this.